Let me start with something funny but painfully true. Most people spend more time choosing what to watch on Netflix than choosing what to do with their money, and somehow expect a better return. Welcome to Personal Finance, the only game where everyone is playing but nobody read the rules. Today, we're breaking down the basics of personal finance. No jargon, no boring textbook energy. Just real talk, a little humor, and strategies that actually work. Here's the truth nobody tells you: you weren't born bad with money. You were just never taught. School taught you algebra. Life teaches you bills. And suddenly you're 25, staring at your bank account like, how did $3,000 disappear? I only bought food and emotional support takeout. That's where personal finance begins: awareness. Personal finance is not about being rich overnight. It's about controlling your money so it stops controlling you. Let's simplify everything into one concept: cash flow. Money comes in. Money goes out. Here's a simple truth: most people don't have a money problem, they have a cash flow problem. Cash flow is the movement of money in and out of your life. Money comes in from income and money goes out through expenses. Well, that's it. But this simple concept controls your entire financial future. If more money is going out than coming in, you're falling behind. If more is coming in than going out, you're moving forward. Sounds obvious, but most people never actually track it. Think of your finances like a bucket. Your income fills the bucket, but your expenses are holes at the bottom. If the holes are too big, it doesn't matter how much you pour in, you'll always feel broke. The first step is awareness: track your money. Not guessing. Not, I think I spent like $200. But actually knowing. Track every dollar for at least a month. You'll find out this is what happens: you think you're spending money on essentials. But your bank statement says $12 coffee, $18 delivery fee, $40 quick Target run, $120 subscription you forgot existed. You'll quickly see patterns: subscriptions you forgot, impulse spending, small purchases that quietly add up. Your money isn't disappearing. It's quietly leaving, like a toxic relationship. Once you see your cash flow clearly, you can control it. Reduce unnecessary outflows, increase your income over time, and create a gap between what you earn and what you spend. That gap is where wealth begins. Budgeting gets a bad reputation, like it's the financial version of eating plain salad while everyone else orders steak. But in reality, a budget is just a plan for your money. If you don't tell your money where to go, it will disappear on its own, quietly. Consistently. Usually on things you don't even remember buying. Budgeting is simple. You take your income and you assign every dollar a job. Some goes to needs like rent and groceries. Some goes to wants like dining out or entertainment. And some goes to saving and investing for your future. A beginner-friendly method is the 50-30-20 rule, which means 50% for needs, 30% for wants, and 20% for savings or debt repayment. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it gives you structure. The real power of budgeting is awareness. When you see exactly where your money is going, you can start making better decisions. You're no longer guessing, you're in control. A budget doesn't restrict your life. It gives you permission to spend on what actually matters, without feeling guilty later. Let's be honest, life has a talent for bad timing. Your car breaks down right after you paid rent. Your laptop dies the week you need it most. That's where an emergency fund comes in. An emergency fund is your financial safety net. It's money set aside specifically for unexpected situations. Not for vacations, not for shopping, only for real emergencies. Without it, every surprise expense turns into debt. And debt is expensive stress. For beginners, start small. Your first goal is $1,000. That alone can cover many common emergencies. Then gradually build it up to 3 to 6 months of living expenses. Think of it like a buffer between you and chaos. Instead of panicking, you stay in control. Keep this money in a separate, easily accessible account. Not invested, not locked away. You want it ready when life happens. Building an emergency fund isn't exciting. There's no instant reward. But it's one of the most powerful moves you can make. Because when things go wrong, and they will, every emergency becomes debt. And debt is like that one friend who says, "I got you," but charges you interest. Let's talk about debt, the financial version of "I'll deal with it later," but later shows up with interest. Debt isn't always bad. A mortgage or student loan can be useful. But high-interest debt, especially credit cards, is where things get dangerous. Here's how it traps people. You see something for $100. Your brain says that's affordable. Your wallet says absolutely not. But your credit card says, "Don't worry, I got you." That's not help, that's a loan with attitude. If you don't pay it off quickly, that $100 purchase can quietly turn into $130 or $150 over time. Congratulations, you just upgraded your purchase into a long-term relationship. The key to handling debt is strategy. Focus on paying off high-interest debt first. That would be credit cards, payday loans. Anything over 10% interest is considered high-interest debt. That's where your money is leaking the fastest. You can use the snowball method, paying off smaller debts first for motivation, or the avalanche method, targeting the highest interest to save money. Either way, the goal is simple: reduce the weight. Because trying to build wealth while carrying heavy debt is like trying to run with ankle weights. You can do it, but it's unnecessarily hard. Let's clear up one of the biggest beginner confusions in personal finance: saving versus investing. They sound similar, but they play completely different roles. Saving is like putting your money in a safe. It's there to protect you. You use savings for short-term needs, emergencies, bills, or anything you might need soon. It's stable, predictable, and honestly, a little boring. But boring is good when life gets unpredictable. Investing, on the other hand, is like sending your money to work. Instead of sitting still, it goes out into the world, stocks, funds, markets, trying to grow over time. It's not always smooth. Some days it goes up, some days it goes down. Investing has mood swings. Here's the simple way to think about it. Saving is for safety, investing is for growth. If you only save, your money stays safe but grows slowly. If you only invest without a safety net, one emergency can force you to pull money out at the worst time. The smart move is balance. Build savings first, then invest consistently. Because one protects your life. The other builds your future. Let's talk about investing, the moment your money stops being lazy and finally gets a job. Most people think investing is complicated, like you need 3 monitors, 6 charts, and a stressed expression. In reality, investing is simple. It's just putting your money into assets that can grow over time. Think of it like planting a tree. You don't dig it up every day to check if it's growing. You plant it, water it, and give it time. That's where beginners mess up. They invest today, check tomorrow, and panic because it dropped $5. Relax. That's not investing, that's emotional cardio. A common way to start is through index funds or diversified portfolios. Instead of betting on one company, you spread your money across many. Less drama, more stability. The real secret is consistency. Invest regularly, even small amounts, and let time do the heavy lifting. Because investing isn't about getting rich quick. It's about getting rich slowly, which sounds boring, but it works. And one day you'll realize something amazing: your money is making money, and you didn't even have to show up. Let me introduce you to the most powerful concept in finance: compound interest. Here's the idea: your money earns money, and then that money earns more money. It's like your dollars start having children, and those children get jobs. At first, it looks unimpressive. You invest a little, and the growth feels slow. You check your account and think, "Oh, that's it." But give it time, and things start to snowball. Imagine rolling a tiny snowball down a hill. At the top, it's nothing. Halfway down, it's noticeable. By the bottom, it's massive and slightly terrifying. That's compound interest. The key ingredients are time and consistency, not luck. Not perfect timing. Just staying invested and letting it grow. Here's the painful part: the earlier you start, the easier it is. Start late, and now you're trying to build the same snowball uphill. Most people underestimate this because the results aren't immediate. But over years, it quietly does the heavy lifting. So if you remember one thing, it's this: time in the market beats timing the market. Let's talk about financial psychology, the real reason your bank account doesn't match your income. Because money isn't just math. If it were, everyone would be rich after learning basic addition. Money is emotional. You don't just spend because you need something. You spend because you're stressed, bored, celebrating, you want to feel successful. You saw someone on social media living better. That late night online shopping. That's not a purchase. That's therapy with shipping fees. Here's the problem: your brain loves short-term rewards. Buy something now, feel good immediately. But your future self, they're looking at the credit card bill like, why did we do this? That's the gap between emotion and logic. Financially successful people aren't just smarter. They're more aware of their behaviors. They pause before spending. They question impulses. They understand that not every feeling needs a financial response. One simple trick: delay purchasing. If you want something, wait 24 hours. Most of the time, the urge disappears. If it doesn't, at least it's a conscious decision. At the end of the day, mastering money is really about mastering yourself. And if you don't control your behavior, no amount of money will fix it. You could earn $50,000 and struggle. Or earn $200,000 and still struggle. Because income doesn't fix bad habits. Discipline does. Your habits, not your income, determine your financial future. Let's talk about lifestyle inflation. The moment your paycheck levels up and your expenses say, "Don't worry, we'll catch up." You get a raise. You feel proud. You think, finally, I made it. And then suddenly, everything in your life gets an upgrade. Your old apartment feels too small, your car somehow embarrassing now. Your meals, apparently you only deserve premium sushi. Congratulations. Your income went up and your savings stayed exactly the same. That's lifestyle inflation. It's sneaky because it feels like progress. You're not wasting money, you're improving your life. But if your expenses rise as fast as your income, you're just running in place with nicer shoes. Here's the smarter move. When your income increases, don't upgrade everything at once. Pay yourself first and increase your savings and investments before you upgrade your lifestyle. Think of it like this: every raise is an opportunity. You can either look richer or actually become richer. Enjoy your money, yes. But don't let every extra dollar disappear into a more expensive version of the same life. Because real wealth isn't about what you spend. It's about what you keep. Let's talk about retirement, the only life goal people know they should prepare for, but it's also something that always seems like it's far out in the future. Let's think about it later. Retirement is simple in concept. One day you stop working, but your bills politely refuse to stop existing. Rent doesn't retire. Groceries don't retire. Life continues, and so does bills and expenses. That's why retirement planning matters. Here's the reality: the earlier you start, the less you have to invest. Start late and you'll need to invest aggressively just to catch up. Retirement isn't about working forever, it's about making your money work so you don't have to. Most beginners think, I'll start later when I earn more. Later is always the day after tomorrow. Retirement accounts exist for a reason. They're like slow cooking your financial future. Not exciting, but very effective. You don't need to be rich to start. You just need consistency. Small contributions today can grow into something meaningful over decades. Think of it this way: every dollar you invest for retirement is a tiny employee that never asks for time off. So the real question is not, can I afford to start? It's, can I afford to wait? Start early. Stay consistent. Your future self will thank you. Let's talk about risk management, the part of personal finance where we admit something shocking. Life is unpredictable and your money is not invincible. Most beginners think finance is just about making money. But risk management is about not losing it all in one dramatic plot twist. Because life loves surprises. Your car breaks down. Your job changes. Your stable investment suddenly looks like it's having a bad day, week, and possibly identity crisis. Risk management is your financial seatbelt. Not exciting, but very important when things get bumpy. First tool, diversification. That's a fancy word for don't put all your money in one place and pray. Spread it out so one bad event doesn't ruin everything. Second tool, emergency fund. This is your life happened account. Not for vacations, not for shopping, strictly for chaos. Third tool, insurance. Yes, it feels like paying money for nothing until you really need it, and suddenly it feels like the best purchase you ever made. Here's the joke: people ignore risk management because nothing bad is happening. That's like saying you don't need a fire extinguisher because your house isn't on fire yet. The goal isn't to avoid risk completely. It's to survive it without starting over every time life gets creative. Let's simplify everything into a clear path. 1. Track your spending. 2. Build a budget. 3. Create an emergency fund. 4. Pay off high-interest debt. 5. Start investing consistently. 6. Increase income over time. 7. Avoid lifestyle inflation. And 8. Stay patient. That's it. No secret formula. No magic trick. Just consistency. People love shortcuts. Get rich quick. Double your money overnight. A secret investment strategy. But real wealth. It's slow. It's consistent. It's boring. And that's why most people don't do it. Because it's not exciting. But it works. At the end of the day, personal finance is not about being perfect. It's about being intentional. Every dollar you earn is a decision: spend it now or invest it for your future. And the difference between those choices, that's your life. So next time you check your bank account, don't just look at the number. Ask yourself, is my money working for me, or am I working for my money? Because once you flip that relationship, everything changes. Hope you find this video helpful. Click like and subscribe. See you in the next video.